So Melissa Bumstead, Valliere, I don't really know what my last name is. Here today, we're gonna train some legs. So most every leg day, I do like to start with leg extensions. I find it warms up my knees really nicely. I can progressively increase the weight to kind of get into the workout, get the muscles warm. And then I'm gonna progressively increase, and then I'll hit 2 working sets. First working set is gonna be heavy, and it's going to be until failure. And then second working set, I usually like to add an intensifier. And I either do a cluster set, which is a cluster of, let's say, 5 reps with shorter breaks in between, or I'll do a drop set. Because this is a pin-loaded machine, I do like to do a drop set because it's super easy. Even if you're training alone, you can just move the pin up. So that's what I'll do for my second working set, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. A big thing for me with quad extensions is I like to pause at the top, so peak contraction. It's it's easy mentally for me to connect to my quads, but I think a lot about honestly flexing the muscle all the way from the bottom, like the knee, all the way to the top. So having to hold heavy weight at the top of a rep kind of forces you to do that. And obviously I'm really focusing on my breathing, especially when I'm training heavy. So there's an inhale on the way down and then a big exhale on the way up. And I find really making sure you have enough oxygen is a huge part in being strong, feeling strong, and finishing the set powerfully. Okay, second exercise is hamstring curls. Same kind of idea. I'm here to get my hamstrings warm. So I'm gonna start lighter and work up to 2 working sets again. I choose seated. The reason I do that is because when I do lying or even standing, some gyms will have the standing single leg hamstring curls. I find that you're able to use a lot of momentum. So if you've ever noticed when you're doing your hamstring curls and your back kind of arches, or you get a lower back pump or anything like that, you're now not using your muscle to move the weight, you're starting to use your body and your lower back. So if you use the seated and you really focus on keeping your lower back pushed against the back pad, you really can't use anything else. So your hamstrings are being forced to do all the work. And I find, especially with this machine, you can lock yourself in, you can go super heavy. We're gonna start on leg press now. It's gonna be the same kind of concept, but because we're already warm, the warm-up isn't gonna be as extensive. So I'll start with 2 plates, work up to my max, which is, I honestly have no idea what it is, so don't ask me, but we're just gonna go until it feels heavy and then do a working set. Joe was chirping me for my depth, so we're gonna try to go deeper, but we were discussing why I wasn't going as deep, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with having tight hips. So obviously a huge thing with leg training is making sure that you're stretching, you're opening up your hips, you're keeping things limber. People that do a lot of cardio, biking, Peloton, I love to spin, or walking, that's obviously gonna lock up your hips. That was perfect for me. I feel like I was starting to fail. I had like 8 to 10 reps. I obviously don't have a spot today, so I couldn't push it as far as I would have wanted to. If Iain was here, he definitely would have made me hit at least 12 reps. Now I'm gonna catch my breath. I'm gonna rip a plate off, and then we'll do the cluster set. I decreased the weight because a cluster set is gonna be higher volume, and I've also exhausted from that working set. I've exhausted the muscle. So cluster set is basically a number of smaller rep sets with timed breaks in between. So it's one big set, and within the set there's going to be however many little sets you want. So for example, I'm going to do 4x4. So that's 4 sets, 4 reps each with 15 seconds in between. Different from a drop set, obviously, because a drop set, you're training till failure, you're reducing the weight, no break, and then you're doing another set until failure, reducing the weight, no rest until failure. And that can either be a double drop set, so you'll drop the weight twice, triple, you drop it 3 times, you can go all the way down the stack or down the dumbbell rack. And then the cluster, you're keeping the weight the same, with breaks in between sets, just a smaller number of reps within those sets. So if I'm doing a 4x4, my total amount of reps is 16, obviously, but there is breaks in between to allow you to kind of recover and then go. Ideally, if you're kind of choosing your weight and your reps and your sets properly, by the last cluster, you are going to be failing. So by the 4th set, my 4th rep, it should be very difficult for me to complete. That was good. That was perfect. Okay, I probably could have done more. I probably could have done 4x5 reps, to be honest. I'm used to having a spot, so that's my excuse. Okay, now we're here at the, I don't know what this is called, Pendulum, Squat Pro, whatever. I'm starting pretty heavy because number one, I'm tired, so I don't want to waste energy warming up, going 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. And obviously, like, my body is super warm right now. I normally do this before leg press. So we're gonna try 4, see how it feels. I did 5 1/4 last week and I thought it was so strong, and Iain told me that it was not. So now I have like a bit of an ego and I want to do 6, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to today. But I'm just gonna do 2 working sets here. That was too scary, I couldn't keep going. Oh, okay, that didn't go to plan. That's okay. I'm probably gonna go back down to 4, to be honest, and try to get a proper set. This is honestly pretty, like, it's pretty light for me, but it's the last kind of working set of the workout. I'm really tired, so I don't even know what's gonna come out of me right now, but if this ends up being 15 reps, that's fantastic. I do really like to combine like training till failure in the lower rep ranges, like 8 to 10 versus lighter weight and higher reps. So I do actually combine the 2 techniques within the same workout all the time. It's just what works for me. Okay, so now that I'm exhausted, we're gonna finish this workout with adductors. I do have 2 leg days every week. One is more quad focused, so today, and then one is more glute, a little bit of hamstring. On quad days, I like to do adductors at the end, and then on glute days, I like to do abductors, which is the out, adductors are the in. So I don't go till failure, honestly, on this exercise because I hate the feeling when the inner thigh is sore, like it ruins my whole day. So I'm just gonna really focus on squeezing and holding at peak contraction and making sure that I'm kind of doing full extension on the outside. So 2 to 3 sets, just 12 to 15 reps, and that'll be the end. Okay, so that's it for leg day today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to see any other videos, if you want to see Iain and I train together, comment below and let us know, and we'll do our best to get those out for you. Thanks for watching, guys.